Hey.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Oh, comments.
Yeah.
There's comments.
Hey Calvin,
Hey,
how are
Calvin.
you?
Hey, Susan.
Hey Susan, how are you?
Uh,
Hi all the other
people?
5 people that are watching other than those 2. What's up, Estrella? How are you?
Estrella.
Yeah, I mean star.
Yeah, I get that. I understand that. Okay. Hello.
Hey Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
How are you?
Jennifer's over on YouTube.
It's not Kool-Aid color. It is lavender fog. Thank you.
It's
By Strawberry Leopard.
It's London Fog Tea. What was
that? Is my favorite.
Is that, did I say that right? London Fog Tea?
Mm-hmm.
It's all right. It's not...
London Fog Latte.
Hi,
Thank you. Doing good. Got a headache. Feel like punching walls because of it, but it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Raven. How are you?
So, Apple TV just made me want to get Apple TV.
Too bad I didn't take them up on the offer.
They're getting the legendary Godzilla TV series exclusively.
Hello, mystery people. Thank you. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's it.
Legendary Godzilla.
Yep.
I was just laughing. Hi, Bubba.
Hello.
I was just laughing at Susan.
Yeah.
Hello, mystery people. You know, I told you we could move that Godzilla one.
No, it's fine. They can stay there. I'll be talking about it way too much.
We are good. We are good. Thank you. All right. So today we are talking about the Kansas City Killer. Or Butcher, rather. Wow.
The Butcher.
Kansas City Butcher.
Bob Berdella.
And we got this idea.
Well, we were talking to
Otherwise
be Nevermore the other night on the phone, and he brought it up, and I was like, "Oh yeah, we've not covered him one bit."
Also, I guess some house cleaning. If you guys haven't checked out Grime Asylum, go ahead and check those guys out. They are fantastic.
They're nice.
They consist of people like Otherwise Be Nevermore and Hench the Entertainer.
Yep.
And even Sludge Muck.
Yep.
I also would like to mention, sorry, I can't do this straight face, that Otherwise Be Nevermore is announcing his candidacy for presidency. And here you go. Vote Otherwise Be Nevermore for president 2024. No more clowning around. Or even better, time for a real clown in office.
Yeah, I would say so. One of those... Never mind.
We're not getting political, but vote otherwise.
He won't shit his pants.
Oh man.
Oh, there's
up? I know a pretty badass butcher in Kansas City.
Actually, Kansas, Missouri is it's second best barbecue compared to California.
You know, I'm not even sure about that because the South really invented the whole like smoking thing, but then we perfected it.
No. See, we have tri-tip, and no one else really does tri-tip the way we do it. No, it actually doesn't exist anywhere else, I don't think.
Tri-tip's salty, though.
Tri-tip is very amazing.
Salty.
Oh, my God. You get coastal oak wood. Coastal oak wood.
Really?
Well, yeah. Post oak is Texas. And then you get that, and then you cook it over that. You smoke it with it. Oh, my God.
If it's postal oak wood, does that mean you need to be afraid of it?
I said coastal oak wood.
You said postal originally.
No.
And all I'm thinking of is Edwin San Juan talking about his family. You would not believe what happened. Bob came back and he shoot everybody. So I had to run. I had behind the lightning cabinet. If you guys haven't checked out Edwin San Juan, he is hilarious.
Yes.
The Payaso Comedy Slam is probably my favorite thing that he's in.
I'm still particular to the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm one of those weird guys. I like Ron. I grew up on Jeff Foxworthy on all their stuff, but Ron White is amazing.
Ron White is fantastic.
But he censors himself in with the blue collar stuff.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't do his full bit of cussing and all that stuff.
You know who I miss? Bob Saget.
Yeah.
He had some pretty fucked up comedy, and it
Yeah,
was great.
well, the whole the Aristocats. That was his. That was all him.
The Aristocrats.
The Aristocrats. Sorry, the Aristocats. Well, every time I see the cartoon, I always think about the Aristocrats. So, but yeah, but the Aristocrats. That was all his joke. That was his thing. Him and
Gilbert Gottfried.
Gilbert Gottfried.
And
Gilbert Gottfried told it the best.
Oh, he's gone too.
Yeah, all the guys. Ron White has been sober for 7 months, even from weed. I know he's a big old pothead. I did not know that. I've been sober for 2 months, so.
Hey, Mikey, what's up?
Ron White, his comedy's awesome. I know he's completely retired from comedy. I think he's just doing his podcast now, right, Corbin? I think.
I still like Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah, they're fun.
She had so many moles.
Talk about his 90-year-old grandmother.
His sister.
She wrecked her bike up at was it
Sturgis?
Sturgis, yeah.
I still like his sister got a belly button ring, so now they have something to tow her with.
All right. Yeah, George Carlin. I love.
Yeah.
George Carlin was a wordsmith. He was an absolute wordsmith.
They call me Tater Salad. And my son Tater Tot.
It's those old school comedians like George Carlin and Bob Saget that it doesn't matter your political persuasion or whatever he's going, they go after everything.
Bobcat Goldthwait.
We're gonna see his movie now. The one he made, the horror movie that Stephen P. Kitty Cat brought up.
I can't wait. I haven't seen that. I don't know how I haven't seen it.
Stephen P. Kitty Cat was a terrible movie, but it's still Bobcat.
I don't care. It's Bobcat. You know which one I remember is Freaks.
Freaks is awesome. And he was
and he's the sock puppet.
Yeah. Keanu Reeves was in that movie as Ortiz, the dog man, and he was uncredited. And it was right after him and the main character of Freak, can't think of his name, right after they did Bill and Ted, because they're actually good friends at the time, and that's why he helped him out with the movie. So, okay, we got to get on with this.
All right, get her done. All right, so we're gonna get into this. Robert Andrew Berdella Jr.
Hi, Andrew.
Hey, Andrew. Sorry, you share part of the name, but you're not an ass. He is.
Oh.
All right, so Robert Andrew Berdella Jr. Born January 31st, 1949, and died October 8th, 1992. He was an American serial killer who kidnapped, raped, and tortured and murdered at least 6 young men after having forced his victims to endure periods of up to 6 weeks of captivity.
Oh, yeah, he was brutal with that. He had an infatuation with vegetables, too, which was...
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get into all this.
I feel like we had somebody on our network at one point that was like this.
I forgot her.
Never mind.
There was a few D-bags.
Yeah, but, I mean... I'm not saying names or anything, but anyway, his crimes took place in Kansas City, Missouri. By the way,
not Kansas City, Kansas.
Not Kansas City, Kansas.
Where's Kansas City, Kansas? No, it's not.
There's both.
Don't fuck with me like that.
There's both.
You're fucking with me right now.
I'm not.
There is no Kansas City, Kansas.
Yes, there is.
Lies.
You go over a bridge and you're in Kansas City, Kansas.
Oh, is it one of those border cities?
Yeah.
Like Portland, whereas Portland's actually in Washington and Oregon?
Yeah, but it's Kansas City, Kansas, Kansas City, Missouri.
That's the devil's work right there. I'll tell you that right now. That's all the devil's work.
Talk to Hexus about that one.
I am Hexus. It says it right there. Sam Kinison. Oh,
yes.
His was tragic because he actually sobered up, got his life together, and died on his wedding day in his limo. That's terrible. That's right. That's right. He died on his wedding day. He got into a car crash and died.
Kansas.
I
lived in Kansas for a minute.
I would live in Kansas. I have no problem with it. It's just flat. I don't know how. I could deal without the mountains.
So
I think Omaha is actually.
While I was there, that's Nebraska.
You're right. Well, whatever.
I
think you could stand in Kansas City and then see straight to Omaha, Nebraska. Nebraska.
Maybe. But So when I was in Kansas, I was visiting a friend and I ended up living there for like a couple months. And a tornado hit.
Which they are wont to do in
Kansas.
In
a town that was outside of Lawrence, which is where their university is Lawrence.
Huh.
And the circus was in town.
Oh, flying elephants. Were they flying?
They weren't flying, but they sure were running down the street, and I was really confused.
They sure were getting trees slammed into them.
The hail was like this big. No joke. And yeah, it was crazy.
We've actually gotten big hail like that around here.
Did you carry on with?
Carry on my way.
Hey, that's a badass song.
Well, it's badass when Guar sings it. Guar with Dave Brocky.
Carry on my wayward son.
He had hair like a would go up like a Chernobyl.
Wow, look at that hairdo. It's as big as the Hindenburg and probably go up just as quickly as if I put this letter to it.
All right. We gotta
but no, I will stop. God, Slaughterama is the best. Anyway. All right, let's get back into this. Sorry. So, describing his murders as being some of my darkest fantasies becoming my reality, Berdella pled guilty and was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole for first-degree murder of one of his victims, Larry Pearson, in August of 1988, and would later plead guilty to, one further charge of first-degree murder and 4 charges of second-degree murder in December of that same year. He actually died of a heart attack while incarcerated at Missouri State Pen.
There is speculation that he was complaining of heart problems and the COs kind of just ignored him.
Well, wouldn't you?
Yeah, no. I mean, you're not technically supposed to do that. I mean, yeah, he's a terrible fucking person for what he did. But at the same time, he is serving his time, you know. So. Hi, Nadine!
Have fun! I'm all HAVE. I don't know. Fun. Can't help it. I'm ADHD.
All right.
And he makes it go worse sometimes.
I know so much of so useless stuff. So I know so many things about useless things. I know a lot about.
He meant to say he's a plethora of useless information.
Yeah.
It's okay. I am too. So Berdella became known as the Kansas City Booker due to Booker.
Hey, yo, you got the money I got you owe me? He's just loaning money the whole time. He's a freaking. God damn it! He's a freaking butcher. He's a loan shark.
The butcher. God damn it! The Kansas City Butcher, due to his practice of extensively dissecting his victims' bodies, which he would then dispose of in garbage bags, and the Collector, due to both the movie, which he stated was the basis of his fantasies behind his modus operandi.
A few serial killers have had this, the Collector, Charles Ng and all them. I just said a few and I can't think of anything else now.
But yeah, including.
Well, it's just like To Kill a Mockingbird too. That's another one that serial killers kind of gravitate to and stuff.
Catcher in the Rye.
Catcher in the Rye. Not To Kill a Mockingbird. Catcher in the Rye. There you go.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to do real fast here? There's a lot of trigger. Wrong one.
Yeah, that's the brand.
I didn't mean to do that. Let's do this. Trigger warning.
There's a lot of stuff here.
Definitely need a trigger warning here.
Yep.
Damn right.
We get together.
Definitely lots of squirrels going on. Oh, by the way, speaking of squirrels, Frank got home yesterday, and one of them came out of our house.
Yeah. And he flicked his tail at me like he didn't give a damn.
He like flipping mom.
This is my house now. I was like, really?
Well, he's on his way to cause a coup in Venezuela.
Yes.
So, God damn it. All right, so early life. Robert
Justin Rowland, give us money.
Yeah.
We love Rick and Morty.
Right? Oh, I forgot to grab my soda. Yeah.
Okay, we need to get on with this.
So, Robert Berdella was born on January 31st, 1949, as I said earlier, from Cuyahoga Falls. There we go, Ohio. The first of two sons born to Robert Andrew Berdella Sr., a die setter for Ford Motor Company, and Mary Louise Huffman, which turned into Berdella. Berdella's father was a devout Roman Catholic of Italian descent. The family regularly attended Mass, and both sons regularly attended religious education courses. As a child, Berdella was intelligent, but a loner who rarely played outside his home and seldom had friends visit to socialize. He had a speech impediment and wore thick glasses from the age of 5 because he was severely nearsighted. He was diagnosed with high blood pressure, for which he took several medications. This is, again, at a young age. And he was largely unathletic. Whereas his younger brother, on the other hand, Daniel, who was 7 years his junior, displayed the aptitude for various sports from a very young age.
He was like the afterbirth, but born first.
What?
Berdella was the afterbirth, but he was actually born first. His brother was the actually athletic one, and get it?
Yeah. But a lot of times the younger child is the one that has more of the aptitude.
Saying that he was a piece of shit.
Well, he is. Oh, definitely. So, as Berdella's father valued sports and physical education, he viewed his older son's lack of interest in sports as a sign of failure and often compared him unfavorably to his younger brother. Occasionally, Berdella's father physically and emotionally abused his children and beat them with a leather strap.
See, that's the thing. Like with this one, though, it wasn't all the time that his father was abusive towards him and stuff like that. He just viewed him as kind of like a sissy and stuff like that.
No, he was physically and emotionally abusive towards him.
Occasionally, it's right there. Occasionally.
Yeah, I mean,
it wasn't like he was constantly doing like other serial killers and stuff, fathers and stuff like that, where he was beating the shit out of him constantly talking down to him. It was almost like here and there, and then, man, you're just go over here now,
Well, the crazy part is that Berdella performed very well academically, but his teachers did find him difficult to teach, in part due to his being so aloof. And his being the recipient of bullying from other students. Because of this, he seldom socialized with any of his peers. When Berdella reached puberty, he discovered that he was gay. Mm-hmm. Initially, he kept this fact a closely guarded secret, and he didn't want to be open about his sexuality. But in his teenage years, he did actually have a girlfriend. So, adolescence. By his mid-teens, he had begun to display a degree of self-confidence, which would often manifest itself via his attitude towards other individuals, in which he would exert a somewhat rude and condescending attitude, particularly towards women.
He very much was a narcissist from early on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He learned about cooking and art and developed some showmanship. The prestige.
It's just doing
So my brain just stopped. Here we go. On Christmas Day of 1965, the Berdella family drove to Canton, Ohio to visit relatives. That evening, Berdella's father had a heart attack at the age of 39. 2 days later, he died.
This was actually a big moment too in his life too, because even though his father was somewhat abusive toward him, this affected him. He still
respected him to an extent.
This really affected him, like, majorly.
So, in this time, Berdella Jr., sought solace in his religion, and he later extensively read about many different faiths, but ultimately became cynical about all religion.
Yeah.
In 1965, Berdella saw the film adaptation of John Fowles' novel, The Collector.
Which there actually has been several collectors and stuff like that. Even the new one, Stephen P. King went into.
The plot of the film revolves around a disturbed man who stalks and then abducts a young woman whom he finds attractive, holding her captive in his windowless stone basement and viewing her as little more than an attractive specimen.
Hey, Star!
Hey, Star! How are you?
What's going on? Hope you're doing well.
After several weeks, the woman dies of a contracted illness despite her captor's effort to keep her alive. Berdella later stated this movie had formed a lasting impression on him. Shortly after the death of Berdella's father, his mother remarried. This act was met with resentment by her older son, obviously, who viewed the move as a form of betrayal against his father. As a result, Berdella became increasingly withdrawn and further immersed himself in the solitary activities he had participated in since childhood, such as painting, collecting coins, collecting stamps, writing to foreign pen pals. I mean, these are all pretty...
They're pretty mundane.
Yeah, normal things.
And it actually kind of, it's one of those mediocre qualities that a lot of serial killers share because their lives aren't exactly going the way they wanted to go, so they have to make themselves more.
Well,
not as in a good way, but get out there and be like, okay, instead of actually trying to do something with my life, I'm going to go out here and just murder this person and rape them, or rape and murder, however they do it.
So check this out. So he said that his hobby of writing to his pen pals in countries such as Vietnam and Burma, these pen pals would send him stamps for his collection and photographs of mythical and historical icons, ancient cultures, architecture, and this would lead to developing an avid interest in primitive art, photographs, and antiques. From approximately 1965, he would begin to avidly collect these artifacts. This practice would later inspire him to open his own business in '82.
Well,
it was an antique business.
It was it was at a flea market. It was called Bob's Bazaar or something like that, or Bazaar. It was a weird place. Supposedly,
I probably would have loved it.
Well, yeah, everyone
to be honest.
The whole rumors that actually popped up after they found out he was a serial killer that supposedly had human skulls there, but he never did.
It's not illegal to have a human skull unless you kill it yourself.
Well, you have to prove that it was actually from a certain time period. Like if you have a human skull from like last year, that's not good.
Well, no.
Actually, technically, you could still, you could actually buy cadavers.
Yeah.
Like most states will let you buy a cadaver.
Especially Arizona.
Yeah. The body farm. Not the body farm, but
the body farm.
No, the body farm is the FBI farm. But the place that I know you're talking about, it was the, oh my God, we were going to cover it. I can't remember what it was called.
We still got to cover it.
But it was a body chop shop or something like that. And
that's what it was.
Yeah, that place got in trouble because they were sending, not only were they getting cadavers that were actually infected with HIV and all this other stuff.
But they were also supposed to be burying a lot of these people, and like the ones that were closed casket, they would simply just not put them in there.
Oh, it was brutal. It's a whole story. It's a gruesome one too.
Oh yeah. So college years. In the summer of '67, Berdella graduated from Cuyahoga Falls High School. Throughout his studies in high school, he had earned such excellent grades and displayed such potential that in '66, one teacher had placed him in an independent study program. Shortly after graduation, Berdella relocated to Kansas City. There he enrolled in Kansas City Art Institute with aspirations of becoming a college professor. In his first year at the Kansas City Art Institute, he was considered an attentive and talented student, although by his second year, he became vocally anti-authoritarian.
Yeah.
He also became acquainted with a clique of students who supplied him with drugs, which he then sold to other students for profit. I mean, he was...
But this is the one thing that she's going to carry over into later on. He's constantly... He actually has ketamine and stuff like that. That's one of the things he was using to drug his victims with.
There's actually one in Tennessee as well.
Tennessee, and then I think... But where's the FBI one? Is it Indiana? Or no, they use both, right?
They use all of them.
Oh, that's right. I mean, that's kind of cool. I
want to visit.
I would go see it. Yeah.
I want to visit.
I would have to wear something because I can't deal with the smell of death. Even though we talk about it all the time, and I can actually watch murder videos and stuff like that, I can't.
Are you able to deal with formaldehyde?
Oh yeah, that's fine.
I mean, it gives me a little bit of headache, but
at the body farm, you're actually going to have that stench of death.
Yeah, I know. It'll be everywhere. Straight up.
And if you've ever smelled something as big as a cow decomposing, it's brutal. It's one thing when it's a small animal, you can kind of get past it, but a huge a huge animal or a person or something. I've heard stories. Mike, my friend Mike, when he was a security guard, how he would he was a security guard at a halfway house or something like that with the towers.
Oh my god!
And he walked in on a couple people who were dead, and he described the smell. It's like it's sickening. It's worse than the smelling of dead animal.
It is. So he acquired a reputation among his fellow students as a minor drug dealer. In addition, he began regularly abusing alcohol. He also engaged in acts of animal torture. There it is. Boom.
Yep.
On at least 2 occasions. During one of these instances, he decapitated a duck. Oh, this actually happened. This motherfucker.
No, this happened in class. It was one of his
in the presence of his peers. Yeah.
It was his art project, and he got away with it. And he took it. He claimed what he said was okay. It was part of his art project. Whatever he was doing, it was to shock people or whatever. He went home and they asked him, "Well, what was you going to do with this?" He said he was going to go home and eat it. So they were like, "Man, go ahead." Ugh. And plus, it was also in the 60s or early 70s and stuff when he did this.
Well, in the second instance, he experimented with sedatives and tranquilizers on dogs.
Yeah, this is him grooming or building up to see what he can get away with people and stuff like that.
So at the age of 19, Berdella was arrested for attempting to sell methamphetamine to an undercover cop. He was released after posting a $3,000 bond equivalent to $23,000 in 2021.
Jesus Christ.
And
inflation.
Look at that. Would later plead guilty to the offense and was handed a 5-year suspended sentence. 1 month after his first arrest, Berdella and 2 other students were arrested for possession of weed and LSD in Johnson County. On this occasion, he could not post bond. He spent 5 days in jail, although the charges against him and one of the other students would be dropped due to a lack of evidence.
This is a common thing among serial killers where they get in trouble at an early age. They get in trouble and then charges are dropped or they talk their way out of it.
Oh, yeah. So we are going to go to commercial. Here, you do it.
All right.
I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab some.
Join me here on Psycho Bunny DC. A delightfully dreadful consternation of horror content. Use your head and free your mind.
Hey!
Hi!
We're back!
Sorry about that, y'all. Uh-oh. Sorry. We need a better chair.
Aha.
All right, so...
I'll bring the comments back up. Sorry.
What?
I forgot to bring them back.
Oh, okay. So we're going to talk about 4315 Charlotte Street. In 1969, Berdella voluntarily withdrew from the Kansas City Art Institute after receiving harsh criticism from college administrators for killing, then cooking a duck for the sake of art.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's not art. I'm sorry. Murdering an animal in front of people is not. It's not art. It's just you being a dick.
So he chose to remain in Kansas City, and in September of that year, he moved to an address within the Hyde Park district. By this stage, Berdella had become very open about his sexuality and being gay. He began spending much of his free time with male prostitutes, drug addicts, petty criminals, and runaways. He would typically befriend these individuals and try to help them or help free them of their drug addictions and general lethargic or criminal lifestyles.
He actually, it was a lot of vagabonds and stuff like that he actually, and sex workers like this that he surrounded himself with, that he would bring into his house, and then that's when things started happening.
Well, he was adamant that throughout much of the 70s, he had no physical contact whatsoever with any of these individuals.
I highly doubt that.
Several of his neighbors, Berdella stated he gradually felt most like a foster parent to many of these youths. By the early 80s, many of the older acquaintances had ceased any form of social contact with him. And with him increasingly relying on these young men as a source of companionship or friendship, he would retrospectively claim to have become increasingly frustrated at many of these individuals' ignorance to his efforts to help steer them away from self-destructive behavior.
He literally had a house. The way I don't know if we're going to get into this, but his house, he was a major hoarder too. He had chows, I think it was chows. And it was just like dog shit, feces everywhere, all this other stuff. And like his whole thing was bringing in drug addicts and stuff like that. So it wasn't for him to be like, oh, I'm growing frustrated with this. It was like, no, dude, you're bringing these people in who are literally only going to be around you for a week or two at a time. Yeah. And they're only going to take your sexual advances because they want something from you, which you have, which is drugs and stuff like that. So
side note, Coca-Cola, sponsor me.
Oh, God.
Sponsor us!
Maybe we shouldn't show Coca-Cola on here.
I just want them to sponsor us.
Hair on you.
I know I have a hair.
Sykes, what's going on? Hey.
Sorry, I'm thirsty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, where am I?
Oh.
Okay, there we go. Despite these later claims to investigators, Berdella would often engage in sexual relations with several of these individuals and would establish a degree of control over them, in part to engage in these sexual relationships. Via methods such as loaning them money, allowing them to live rent-free at his house for periods of time. To his neighbors, Berdella was considered very flamboyant, yet helpful and civic-minded, despite the generally unkempt state of his property. His somewhat haughty attitude. So beginning in the late 70s, Berdella would assist in the organizational activities of the South Hyde Park Crime Prevention and Neighborhood Association, becoming their chairman in the early 80s and encouraging neighborhood watch patrols. He remained active in this association until the mid-80s, when he relinquished his position with the organization.
The crazy thing is he actually does share a lot of things in common with John Wayne Gacy. The active member in his community.
No, there is not, but I wish there was.
Rum and Coke. Man, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of rum and Cokes. I don't mind them.
I like them.
He shares a lot of stuff in common with John Wayne Gacy, with being active in his community at the time, taking in men, killing them. With the exception of he didn't hide them underneath his house. He just dumped them. He cut them up.
He cut them up and dumped them.
No, he didn't. He dumped them in his trash, and the trash man took them. That was the trash collectors and all this other stuff. That's what he did with them. That's the craziest thing ever, that the trash guys just were like, man, not even going to ask questions. Just threw these So they just thought it was meat that he was cutting up.
That's what I was saying. They probably just thought it was meat. So I lost my spot. Berdella would also represent his neighborhood at fundraising events for a local public television station. Although he would also disengage himself from these events by the mid-'80s.
Which is when he really started killing.
Mm-hmm. Shortly before Berdella had moved into this Charlotte Street address, he began working as a short-order cook in various restaurants around Kansas City, in part to help pay the lawyer fees and fines accrued from the drug arrest that he had accrued at the age of 19. Sorry, Coca-Cola. It's good stuff. Starlight, go get it. As a means for obtaining additional income, he also sold arcane items of art and antiques as he had accrued and collected from contacts he had established in Africa, Asia, South America, and various Pacific Rim countries.
It's the craziest thing to think that this guy actually got this stuff. And it was actually, there is a guy who after he, you okay?
Who's burping?
Oh, there was a guy who after he was, I want to say after he was arrested, bought his entire estate. All the arcane stuff that he had. Everything.
It's awesome stuff, honestly. So he would actually initially operate this side business from his home. But as we had mentioned before, Bob's Bizarre Bazaar ended up being something that he started. Both Berdella's career and side business gradually flourished. And by the mid-'70s, he began working as a senior cook at several renowned Kansas City restaurants, also joining a local chefs association and helping establish a training program for aspiring chefs at a local community college. Simultaneously, as his own business began to grow, he began to devote more of his attention to his own business as opposed to his work as a chef. So by 81, he had established several contractual agreements with both national and international contacts for his own antique business. He viewed this business as his full-time job and later ceased working as a chef.
It's insane. If he wasn't a fucking murderer, he would have been successful. Successful with it. And all he did was sell stuff at flea markets. And that's what he did. It wasn't exactly like a storefront. He just went to a flea market and sold his stuff there and made a lot of money doing it. Mm-hmm. How's the weather up here? It was 103 today, Sykes, up here in Bakersfield.
Yeah,
it was not fun.
I was in the water at that point.
Yep.
It didn't bother me, and it was
Susan's
windy.
back!
What's up?
Yay.
Awesome. Yeah, Kansas City Butcher tonight. We were going to do it last night, but I was tired.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, we
and I wanted to go see Black Phone, but we still didn't.
Our refrigerator went out and all sort of stuff, and we had to go order another one, and then they got here today, and then we spent about an hour or two getting in and everything like that, and putting the old one outside.
Not bad.
Not bad.
All right, so let's get into Bob's Bizarre Bazaar. In 1982, Berdella began renting his own booth at Westport Flea Market. The store was named Bob's Bizarre Bazaar and primarily sold and traded primitive art, jewelry, and antiques, although occasionally making a generous monthly profit. The income he typically generated via this business was often not sufficient enough to maintain his daily expenses and make ends meet. As a result, he would occasionally have to either sell goods to fellow merchants at a financial loss or steal or scavenge for items to sell at his booth.
This is when he first started out, though.
Additionally, he would often take lodgers at his home as a means to gain additional income. Mm-hmm. At his work premises, Berdella became acquainted with a fellow merchant named Paul Howell, who operated a booth adjacent to his own. Soon, Berdella became acquainted with Paul Howell's younger son, Jerry. Initially, Jerry Howell and his friends scathed and taunted Berdella over his overt homosexuality, although, according to Berdella, Jerry Howell later confided in him that he and his friends occasionally earned money as male prostitutes.
I don't know.
How bizarre.
How bizarre.
How bizarre.
Now it's stuck in my head. You know what?
Ooh,
No. You know what? I'm going to do this to Susan. Toto, Africa. It's stuck in your head now.
Gonna take a lot to take me away from you. Okay, sorry.
I did it. Oh, God. No, that's stuck in my head.
Uh-huh.
It's the greatest song in the world. Africa by Toto. It is absolutely the greatest song in the world.
I bless the rains down in Africa.
Why are there no vampires in Africa? Because they bless the rains.
Because they bless the rains down in Africa.
Oh, you wait. You wait till you get rickrolled later on. You're going to be afraid to open up your messenger tonight, Susan.
No. As far as I know, he did not.
No, the only
that
skull...
That was Geen.
Geen did. The only skull he had that was a human skull, they tried to say it was one of his victims. It wasn't. It was a skull that I think he had from it was a skull dated back to the 1600s or something like that. So
2 words. Nipple belt.
Yeah. There still is a nipple belt. I'm pretty sure it's in evidence somewhere. They didn't dispose of it.
Yes.
Metro by Berlin.
That's a good song.
99 red love balloons. The German version.
99 Luftballons.
Snarf, 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 snarf.
By the way, that's him trying to speak German. It's quite amusing.
Snarfin, snarfin, snarf, snarf.
Only because it's the song that never ends, Frank.
It never does. Because it's awesome.
Yes! The Frog Leap cover is amazing.
Oh.
Leo Mark.
The dude from...
Very Italian last name, but I love it.
Nobody's from... where's he from? Denmark or someplace?
I don't remember, but he has a really Italian last name.
Oh, yeah. He's a good guitarist, too. He's a really good guitarist.
He's a great musician all around. He's very well-rounded.
He's associated with the dude from Equilibrium who does the metal covers, too.
Yeah.
The guy I always watch, I can't think of what his name is, but that does Misty Mountains Cold. He's the one who did the Skyrim theme, the metal version of it, and all that stuff. I can't think of his name, but no, he's the guitarist and everything for Equilibrium, and Equilibrium is a fucking
all I
badass.
can think of is Harry Partridge. Holy shit, what is this? Blessing God, very flames, do mine eyes, tell me lies, another Elder Scrolls game. Okay, there's going to be a part 2, guys.
Yeah, there is.
Maybe, if
we're not doing a movie tomorrow night.
Well, no, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I could get through this.
I don't think we can. There's a lot here.
All right. So by the early 80s, Paul Howell had relocated his business from the Westport Flea Market to a store within a building located close to the intersection of 39th and Main. His family had also moved into an apartment above the shop, and despite his younger son occasionally engaging in heated arguments with Berdella, they would invariably reignite a casual friendship, often via Berdella offering his legal or financial assistance should Jerry encounter minor scrapes with the law. By the summer of 84, Jerry Howell had turned 19.
This is the thing too. He didn't go after underage victims.
Yeah, well,
he actually didn't. This is the one thing. He really didn't go. 19, 20 is usually was around his age. Between 19 and 25.
Missouri.
He
was Kansas City, Missouri. He was on the other side. Or that way.
Well, technically, too, the quiet neighbor.
Yeah.
Not Wisconsin. Where's Milwaukee? Is it Wisconsin or Minnesota?
Minnesota.
Is it Minnesota? Because I'm thinking of what's his face, the cannibal. Oh my God, Jeffrey Dahmer. Wisconsin. Yeah, okay, yeah. Wisconsin technically had the first one with the quiet neighbor,
well,
which
not
was
the first,
but he was active longer.
Yeah,
Dahmer was active a lot longer than Berdella was.
Ah, well, that explains it.
All that delicious barbecue.
Sweet, delicious long pork. All right, so first known victim. I bet you guys could guess it. The Cheesehead Killer.
It was a Cheesehead Killer. He found the Cheesehead Killer and killed him. No, the Cheesehead Killer. That'd be not awesome, but I would love to do a story on that.
So, Berdella is believed to have killed his first victim on July 5th, 1984. His first known victim was, I bet you guys can guess this one, 19-year-old Jerry Howell.
Yeah.
With whom he had become closely reacquainted in the year prior to his murder, and whom he had abducted on the promise of driving him to attend a dance contest in Merriam.
This is, I want to say this is the victim where he'll explain here, I think it does explain that he finally got control over someone in bed by tying him down and stuff like that. And that's what he really liked.
Nice.
I'm just listening to the agony of and ecstasy and on Watain. Okay, Watain. Oh, Watain's fucking rad.
Hey, Melissa.
Hi, Melissa. I would love to go see a Watain concert because it's a whole satanic ritual, really like from start to end. It was the same thing as Take. Take is another thing. Take is fucking rad to go see.
Hoest.
Hoest, yeah. Hoest is an amazing
freaking love
singer.
Hoest.
Yeah, sorry, we were getting off.
You leave the cheese crumbs all over the murder scene.
Cheese curdles or not cheese? Fried.
It's just poutine everywhere.
It's poutine is fried cheese
like,
curds.
They have poutine. Like, hello, there you go, offering for the cops.
I don't know what it is about poutine.
I love poutine.
It's a love-hate relationship for me. I
love poutine.
I'm like, at first I don't like this, and then all of a sudden I do like it by the time I'm done.
It's some good stuff. So, according to Berdella, he plied Howell with alcohol, Valium, and acepromazine, which, by the way, acepromazine is the stuff we gave the dogs for 4th of July.
He also, later on, we're actually getting into it, like I said, he actually ends up getting ketamine and stuff like that, which is, it's also crazy, too, to think about this, because, okay, so when he gets into his torture and stuff like that here, he actually thinks ahead on how to keep him alive for a while. He actually gets a hold of penicillin and stuff like that to make sure to actually fight off infections that they get from him being tied up with, like, piano wire and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. So, he had given him the alcohol, the Valium, and the acepromazine both in his car and at his house until Jerry became unconscious. He then injected him with a heavy tranquilizer before binding him to his bed. Howell was restrained to Berdella's bed for a period of approximately 28 hours.
It's insane. And this is his shortest victim.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The longest one was roughly 6 weeks.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the scene of 7. Yeah.
Still a really good movie.
Oh, which scene was it though? The one with the contraption on the guy where he's all screaming, "Get this off of me! Get this off of me!" And they're like, "What's going on here?" And then they were like, "Oh God, what's in the box?
What's in the box?" Oh God, I pulled that with that thing over at Huckleberry's. Taking pictures of the one box that they had over there.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I was like,
there was nothing in it, but I was like, "What's in the box?"
I was like, "Why do we have a themed restaurant, a Tombstone themed restaurant here?" I was like, "Oh wait, no, it's a Louisiana themed restaurant."
Not that Huckleberry.
I'll be your Huckleberry. What's going on?
It's not letting me do it.
There it goes.
Red wine.
Oh,
sorry.
Right. Sloth, where they thought, oh yeah, oh, and then like that's where is it what's his, the guy always plays God, what's the guy's name?
Morgan Freeman,
where he because they actually go into stomach contact and they find the slivers from underneath that he dug out of the floor and made him eat. And then that's how good of a detective he is. Is like, what? This is actually pieces of the floor. And then they go and find the rest of the clues in there. It's such a good movie. I'm sorry. 7 is such a good movie.
It really is.
Tombstone. I love Tombstone. Yeah.
That is one of my all-time favorite movies. Honestly, it's in my top 5.
Yeah.
Number 1 is still True Romance.
True Romance is good.
So
you're so cool.
You're so cool.
California with a K is mine. Oh God, Brad Pitt, another good one. Really good one with David Duchovny.
Well,
sorry.
I don't think we're getting through this.
We're not getting through this.
We're only going to get through his first known victim, and then we're going to start on tomorrow?
Oh, we can do it.
Or do you want to do it on? I don't know.
We can schedule for
sometime this week.
We'll get to it here and what's going on with us right now with things and summer vacation and stuff.
Oh yeah. So Howell was restrained in Berdella's bed for a period of approximately 28 hours, which we talked about. Throughout this period of captivity, he was repeatedly drugged, tortured, raped, and violated with foreign objects. Howell would intermittently question Berdella why was he being treated like this, and he would plead for freedom, but Berdella would ignore it. So Jerry either asphyxiated on his own vomit, or the combination of the gag and the medicines were too strong for him to be able to catch his breath. And that is a direct quote from Berdella, by the way.
This is the weird thing about him. I don't know if I believe him on a lot of stuff. Our daughter hasn't never seen Lord of the Rings. Guess what adventure we're starting tonight? Oh nice. My God. Do the director's cuts first. Just get them out of the way, Susan.
Right?
Because they, oh my God, when you get to the Return of the King, there's almost an extra hour and a half now of stuff that they put back in there, and it makes everything make sense. Even
there's
more so.
There's things that you were like with the regular version, you're kind of like.
There's a cool part that you can tell Guillermo del Toro helped out on was the voice of Sauron, or not Sauron, Saruman, or what the eye. I can't remember his name.
Oh, they have him.
Oh yeah. Oh, cool.
Sauron.
There you go. The voice where his whole lips are just pulled back and oh my God. and Aragorn when he cuts his head. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead, but it's so cool.
The eye of Sauron lost his contact.
Nobody move! Nobody move! Just look around.
Never eat. Wait, hold on. Come back. Never eat a steak. It could be someone you know. Yummy. Humans.
Well, this is what we're going to get to too here later on in the next episode. He was actually pretty adamant that he did not
he didn't.
serve. He had his famous chili that he would make, and he was very adamant that he did not serve anybody, two people. It was he was actually really disgusted by it.
He didn't want to eat them. He just wanted to kill them.
Wanted to control them. He wanted to have them.
So Berdella would later state that he briefly attempted to perform cardiopulmonary CPR upon Howell after he died before dragging his body to the basement. He then suspended Howell's body above a large cooking pot and made several incisions into his inner elbows, jugular, before leaving the body suspended in the position overnight to allow the blood to drain from his corpse. The following day, he dismembered his body using a chainsaw and boning knives before wrapping the sections in newspaper and trash bags. These bags were later placed inside larger trash bags, which Berdella placed outside for the garbage crew to collect and take to a landfill. Later, questioned by officers investigating Howell's disappearance, Berdella claimed to have driven him to Miriam as promised, and that the two had parted company close to Howell's intended destination. Berdella further claimed he had not seen him since. As would be the case with all Berdella's murder, he kept a detailed log in which he documented each act of sexual and physical torture inflicted upon his victim. Berdella would recall that, like the subsequent victims he would hold captive, Howell had repeatedly pled for his ongoing abuse and torture to cease throughout the period of his capture, although Berdella would either ignore these pleas, taunt him, or threaten him. He would remain adamant to investigators that this would not be for his enjoyment, but what he termed his physical and mental satisfaction.
Yeah, he was not. This is one thing too that I don't. He obviously talked about some of his murders here. I don't think this was his first murder.
No,
there's no way to know how to bleed him out. To know that you're.
He knew how to hunt.
Well, yeah.
He had tested the tranquilizers on dogs, which is the ace pros of.
But to go from
ace promazine.
But to do all that stuff, that's one thing. But to hit the ground running, to understand that you're not supposed to use a chainsaw on every part of the body, just the big chunks.
He was a chef.
Yeah, he was. But a lot of guys, mechanical knife or blades and stuff like that, that gas power stuff, anything like that, when you're using it on a body like that or meat and stuff like that, if it's not like a bandsaw or something like that, chunks of the body get plugged up in the chainsaw, stuff like that. He knew not to do stuff like that. I think he's done this. I obviously believe that he did this a couple times prior to this, not just with animals.
But like I said, he was a chef.
Oh yeah.
So he knew where the cartilage was going to be.
Yeah.
Regardless, and how to get in there. He knew that you can't use the chainsaw on all parts of the body. He had tested out the acepromazine on dogs, which, by the way, it's rarely used on humans now. It's now predominantly used on dogs. Yeah,
he did do all that, but like I said, it's still a human, and even like most serial killers have issues with their first victim. He didn't have issues. He did not have issues at all. It doesn't matter whether he's doing this stuff to dogs. Even the serial killers that actually abuse animals in their childhood and stuff like that, did everything messed up to animals, they still had issues with their first victim.
Yeah,
and he didn't. So,
well, supposed first victim for him.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure he actually had a couple victims prior to this and knew what he was doing with it. And also the fact that he just threw it out for the trash, also he had confidence, showing that he's like, okay, if I throw this out for the trash, most first victims, they don't put him in an obvious place of their home. He just knew, okay, that I've already gotten away with this a couple times probably, if I'm just speculating here, that he could put it out for the trash, and the trash guys were just going to be like, oh, whatever, it's meat, just throw it in the
It's
back.
just going to go to landfill,
and he also knew to do it within time of the trash guys coming to where the meat wasn't so rotted.
Yeah.
So it actually smelled like just meat that was just starting to go bad, and they just threw it in there.
Yeah.
So.
All right, guys, so we are going to continue this. Honestly, it's summer. We are on somewhat of a summer vacation, but not really.
That's why things are so sporadic right now with us, and Nevermore.
Spooky Tales is on.
No,
on vacation.
He's on vacation too. Everyone's on vacation.
That's what I said.
Oh, sorry. You're right.
He's on vacation.
I was thinking
Out of the Ordinary is on vacation as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to be very sporadic.
This is our summer break before spooky season.
Except for Akya Chit Chat.
That's every Wednesday.
That is every Wednesday. And we are ramping up for spooky season.
Which
with that.
Usually starts with in August.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But what's going on?
Keep talking.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say Grime Asylum, guys. Go check them out.
Definitely, it's Grime with a Y, Gryme.
Mm-hmm. We got invited in. This is actually pretty cool.
we are we as people are affiliated with them now.
Yes.
So that's pretty chill. We're super happy about
Corbin
that.
or Hinch is a fucking awesome person. Otherwise,
is fantastic. Yeah. Like I said, guys, vote. Otherwise, be Nevermore for president in 2024. Just saying. Also, this Wednesday, I will be interviewing Nicole DeLivid. She is a special effects artist, as you can see some of these pieces of work that she's done, and she is fantastic.
We actually should give a big shout out to you, Rotten.
Yes.
Matt over there is fucking awesome.
Yeah, honestly, he gave me the opportunity to post in his group, and because of him, my show on Wednesdays is just moving forward so great. Yeah. And they will be on again probably in September with me. I also wanted to make note of somebody else, since I'm thinking about it. Simbu.
Oh, you got to delete one of the.
Oh, let's delete this one. Okay.
Sorry.
So I have the awesome opportunity to interview Simbu next month on the 31st.
The craziest thing is I've always seen his stuff, and especially in the SAS and stuff like that with Scurry Face. I never thought we would actually be talking to him. It was like one of those things. I mean, I'm pretty sure outside of everything, he's a very down-to-earth person, but it's just one of those things. He's so good at what he does here. He's so good at what he does here. It was like, it seemed like it was like one of those unreachable people, where like
yeah, definitely.
He's super cool, super
he's
nice
really
guy.
chill, really down to earth, really nice guy. Great like aesthetic. I love it. I absolutely love it. But guys, if you haven't had the chance to, go ahead and go to scurryface.com. He is one of the last two in the SAS.
I think the last two. I think this
yeah,
Sunday
he is. He's one of the last two. And this ends on Sunday tomorrow.
Yep.
And go vote for him. There's only one vote per device per week for this round. So get that vote in because he is killer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so excited to talk to him.
Yeah.
Oh, and Tuesday is Sykes' birthday.
Nightmare Clowns
Happy
too.
birthday.
Check out the Nightmare Clowns.
And Oni's
Absolutely.
Legion. And gosh, we have so many people that we liked. Honestly, like.
I just think it's funny. I know you know what I'm thinking of right now. Is the other people.
Yeah, no. We have so many awesome people. And honestly, all of you guys, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for your support. Thank you for being super chill and awesome with us. And again, a huge thank you to Matt Hall for letting me post in his group. And also a huge thank you to Hinch the Entertainer for like just in a heartbeat helping me out on Wednesday when we had just like a technical glitch.
Yeah, he's awesome. That was actually super cool.
That was amazing.
We were like, I don't have anything here, and
well, we were like, Florida man.
I was like, obituaries. He's gonna talk about obituaries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sykes. Like we said, we're kind of on our summer break now, and we're coming back really, really strong in mid-August.
Yeah.
We're gonna continue this episode. We can do it Monday.
We'll probably
I think Monday's a good time to do it, and then we'll let you know. We'll be sporadic here and there until August and stuff like that. At least on our part, spooky season really starts. Halloween season for all of us in the horror community starts up in September majorly for everybody. So it's going to be going strong. So from then on, so
I mean, in my real life, you guys have probably noticed that I'm getting really tan.
Yeah,
I actually teach people how to swim.
Yep.
And I walk dogs. So I'm pretty busy.
Ooh,
lately.
I forgot You Can't Sit With Us podcast.
Yes.
Go check that out. It's going to be on Spotify, all this other stuff. I actually am going to upload this tonight.
This will be uploaded hopefully tonight.
Tonight is
if not tomorrow.
If not tonight, tomorrow. I've been sick for the last month I think we told everybody, but I had started off with a major kidney infection, then kidney stones, then 2
strains of the flu.
2 strains of the flu, and so I've been behind on getting that put up. I have 3 episodes. We have 3 episodes ready to put up, and then we're going to be working on all that. So, yep.
Awesome. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it as always. And which one do you want to outro with?
Oh, do the one. This one. That one.
Which one?
The one with the I don't know. No, not that one. No, the one below it.
That's an.
I don't know what it is. I made
That's
it. It was
intro.
Fun. It's something.
Let's just go with this one. Bye, guys.
See you later, guys.
I don't know, set the world higher. I don't want a baby. In my heart,